Okay, good morning. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We'll get right into this with the June reports of officers. We'll start with Eddie Maldonado, the AFTC report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The operations report for May of 2025. Management has lost one of their frontline supervisors at AFTC. In the meantime, Josh Spencer, as the floor manager, will be filling in. There is no news yet whether the upcoming reduction in force will be affecting the AFTC facility. Department 620 at AFTC continues to receive and process parts and equipment for the JLTV. Management continues passing blame on the membership for the late work, but fails to mention that most of the work that we receive on the floor for the membership has a due date that has already expired. At current, the membership is working on processing orders that should have been processed back in April. Yet the work was just issued last week. We understand that the business has processes that need to be observed. However, pointing fingers at the membership will not increase any work production. It will not do anything except the opposite. The company has been canceling some of our meetings due to conflicting schedules and times. We currently have 55 members at AFTC. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Eddie. We'll move on. We'll have Clarence Bibbs with the skilled trades report.
All right, good morning. Manpower, 19 tradesmen, 2 upgraders, 5 on medical for a total of 26. Skilled trades continue to work on PMs throughout Plant 1 and Plant 2. The maintenance meeting was canceled last Thursday due to the negotiation meeting was at the same time. Champion 2 was in to review and alter the trailer bearing press programming in Center Bay and make some adjustments to the hydraulics and PLC programming. Bristol Tool and Die will be in to modify the JLTV wheel and end fixture in Plant 2. In Bristol, the tank for the deionizing water supply came in. They just need a pipe fitter to hook it up. Still no word on when skilled trades will be added at the Bristol plant. Michiana Sheet Metal is in Plant 2 installing ductwork and the hose reels for the exhaust for the vehicle in 4 different locations. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Clarence. We'll have Ryan Hoover with the military map report.
Good morning, everyone. The layoff, we've got some issues going on at the Plant 2 JLTV. There's a layoff going on right now for a few lines, a total of 18 people, and that includes materials and production. There will be 4 temps not retained by the company. Also on the JLTV side, they have 6 to 7 trucks built for inspection for the government approval. They're looking those over right now. There's a total of 19 that still have to go through production or the launch. And then they have some authorization to build 2 more within the coming weeks or months. Again, we don't have the specifics on that. On the Hummer side, no updates on the July shutdown for Plant 2 and the Hummer side. So the Hummer side has 1 week off and Plant 2 has 0 weeks off so far. On the Hummer side as well, we have some Israel trucks on the retrofit of 198. Again, there's a possibility of 600 more to be built. Still waiting on news on that. The plant still has some people on 10 hours. That's in repair, paint, and door line, and some weekend overtime as well. As far as the negotiations, we're still working on language and talks with the international. We're getting their participation with the UAW team. There is a plant-wide post still going on for the cell phone usage. All that applies to all employees and facilities. And the company and the union still are waiting on clarity from the government appropriations committee for monies funding allocated for the JLTV and Hummer. That includes foreign sales, Army, Marine Corps, etc. Employees should also use the UKG app for updates on Cannon's command post. Those usually come weekly at around on Fridays around the 11:30 mark. That's all I have.
All right, thank you, Ryan. Okay, we'll move on with my report. Just want to give you a little business status of the business update. So the U.S. Army, they did announce that it will not be procuring any more JLTVs or the Humvees. They're making a shift in the modernization plans. While the Army is divesting from these vehicles, the Marine Corps remains committed to using them and will continue to purchase them. A little more detailed breakdown on that. So the Army's new Army Transformation Initiative, the ATI, includes divesting from obsolete programs. Obsolete to them is JLTV and Humvee, only because the JLTV, they said they've got plenty of those. They don't need any more. So they have sufficient JLTVs for its armor and heavy striker formations, will no longer purchase new ones. With that being said, the Marines, they stay committed to buying more JLTVs, the A2s, the ones that we're trying to produce. I know they say they want to continue to purchase them. There is potential for that to lead to a price increase for each truck. AM General did bid the truck for a certain quantity of trucks to produce, and that drove the number down for the price per vehicle. There is some rumbling that we're asking for an increase on the JLTV from the Marine Corps. So I know that they were going to work that and vet that. I want to talk about some of the contracts that we do have, the build schedules that we have on order. So with the JLTV, most of the work was coming from the Army. Since they pulled their funding for that, we still have the United States Marines. For 2025, the Marines want 283 of those JLTVs. Into 26, they want 628, and then 2027, there's 277, for a total of 1,188 trucks for the next 3 years. That's the backlog. If you watch Jim and talk about the backlog going into 27, that's the backlog for the JLTV. On the Humvee side, with the Army pulling their funding from that, that's a little harder to understand, only because we sell to foreign militaries in different countries. So right now, as it stands for the U.S. government, for May of 25, we had 176. June, we have 132 trucks. We build 8 trucks a day. You can do the math. It doesn't take very long to chew up 132 trucks in June. We don't have anything on contract past June for the Humvee. We're waiting on the Department of Defense to make sure that they get their budget passed. Hopefully that happens this month. We'll see what kind of funding is earmarked for JLTV or for the Humvee, because there was a backlog for the Humvee as well. So there's not a lot of trucks on contract once we get out of June. Like I said, the U.S. Department of Defense is operating under continuous resolution. That means they're being funded from the same level of 2024, but a formal full-year appropriation bill hasn't been passed for 2025. That's got to go through. I believe it's been through the House, and now it's up at the Senate. So hopefully that thing gets done this month. We'll see where we stand moving forward. Give everybody a little update on negotiations. We are negotiating with the company. We've been in negotiations since April. We're going through a lot of the language issues currently. The status of a lot of the articles where both parties agreed that we didn't need to make a change. We have about 12 articles, starting from recognition, dues, strikes, representation, grievance handling, leaves of absence, general, the safety, apprenticeship standards, the EAP policy, materials, and Exhibit L for the pre-2000 retirees, 2013 retirees. We had a lot of issues, a lot of conversations, talks between management and the union on production standards. When it comes to discipline, we had a lot of talking about that. Temporary personnel, we've had some talks, and we're just getting into seniority. We do think seniority is going to be a very long conversation between the parties, probably a month or two. We got a lot of things that we got to make sure we get back in language, and the company's going to do some other things on their end, I'm sure. One thing I want to touch on real quick is, I know Ryan touched on it with the UAW, the help from the UAW that we're going to get in this bargaining this year for this contract. So on the UAW local website, there at the top of the page, there is a new link that is added to that, and all it says is bargaining. So you click on the bargaining. What that does is gives you a sign up page. So if you want to be kept informed, if you don't get on YouTube, you don't get on Facebook, but you go to the website, what this site's going to do, you sign up for it. It gives you you update your information. So we have your current phone number, we have your current email, and you'll get live updates via text or email with this information that you provide. So the way it's going to work is the committee will go in, we will bargain with the company. When we're done bargaining for that day, we will sit down together and we will have an internal meeting with the committee, and we'll post a unified message to the membership. If you want live updates of what goes on, you can get that from this site. All you got to do, like I said, you click on it, open it up, and you'll be able to get that information. The information you provide gives us what we need so we can reach out to you guys, to the membership. So why do you want to sign up for the bargaining updates? That is a tool to keep you guys informed and all your fellow members informed about what's going on, because it's going to build unity. It's going to build strength amongst the membership. By having bargaining updates together, we can be unified in our fight for a strong contract. But it does give information is strength. So we will arm you with the information. There's nothing secret. We're going to be very transparent. That's what we promised to do with this membership and with this committee as a whole. So this is just another tool that you guys have in our arsenal to make sure that we're up to date. We need every single member to be able to sign up, what we call the Action Network, for the text updates. We just want to make sure the information that you guys get is the correct information. We don't want a bunch of talk on the floor about, well, I heard this and all the rumors. If it comes from the committee, be sure that this is what actually happened. If it comes from somebody else, you take it for what it is. Again, it's just another tool that we're going to use to make sure that we're transparent with the membership outside of the union meetings. Like I said, the Facebook page has been very active. The YouTube channel, we have people that watch this. Now we'll have another part with the locals website. So we're going to do everything we can to be transparent, and we'll do everything we can to keep you guys up to date. That's all we have on reports. Thank you for taking the time to watch this.